Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The ceremony will begin. I would like to acknowledge the presence of Councilman Elito Santarina and his wife Anita, one Master Chief Frank Dominguez and his wife Teresa. Thank you for being here with us. I extend a special warm welcome to Chief Ratcliffe's wife, Rhea, his daughters Chloe and Capri, his dad, Air Force retired Colonel Tommy Ratcliffe, his immediate family members, in-laws, and close friends. I know that you, more than any one of us, are vividly aware of the sacrifices that Chief Ratcliffe has made in the service of our country, and thank you for taking the time to celebrate tonight's event with friends and family. But before we start the ceremony, hey, DJ Larry, can you play some of those songs? Any of those songs? I bet you could. For those that did not recognize any of the songs, or maybe you were not even born, those were the top hits in 1994, the year Will, also known as Glenn Ratcliffe, from the streets of San Fernando Valley, enlisted in the United States Navy. Good evening, distinguished guests, senior officers, fellow Chief Petty Officers, shipmates, family, and friends. Welcome to the retirement ceremony for Chief Hospital Corpsman William Ratcliffe, United States Navy. I'm Chief Petty Officer Ferdinand Angel, and I will be tonight's Master of Ceremonies. In the late 1700s, the U.S. Navy set sail with new ideas, new goals, and a desire to build traditions that would last through the test of time. The U.S. Navy led the way with providing honors for the crewmen. The time-honored tradition of a retirement ceremony serves two purposes. It celebrates the contributions a service member has made in defense of our country and signals the start of a new life. The gathering of the crew to pay respect and honor to the retiree teaches the next generations the value of honorable service and preserves tradition. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of our colors and the invocation. Boatswain, prepare for the arrival of the official party. Sound, 2 bells. Chief Hospital Corpsman, United States Navy, arriving. Sound, 2 bells. Chief Hospital Corpsman, United States Navy, arriving. Sound, 2 bells. Chief Warrant Officer, United States Army, arriving. Color Guard, parade the colors. Chief Ratcliffe's niece, Frankie Santarina, will sing the national anthem.
Roxas, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets of Ratcliffe, the bombs burst in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say just that star-spangled banner yet wave for the lands of the free and the home of the brave.
Color guard, retire the colors. Thank you, Frankie. Petty Officer Third Class Sight will now lead us in the Sailor's Creed.
Attention to the Sailor's Creed. I, in the
United States Sailor, I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, and I will obey the orders of those appointed over me. I represent the fighting spirit of the Navy and those who have gone before me to defend freedom and democracy around the world. I proudly serve my country's Navy combat team with honor, courage, and commitment. I am committed to excellence and the fair treatment of all. HMCS Reda Brooks will now offer the invocation.
Good afternoon. Please bow your heads. O Lord God Almighty, as you have taught us to call the evening, the morning, and the noonday, one day, and have made the sun to know what's going down, dispel the darkness of our hearts as we retire our brother, that by our brightness we may know you to be the true God and eternal light, living, reigning for God forever and ever. Look with kindness upon William Glenn, Rhea, Chloe, Capri, and the late Mrs. Nikki Ratcliffe, and all immediate family members. Today we honor our brother, William Glenn, for Lapu-Lapu City, Philippines, who has contributed 23 years of faithful service to our community and our country. Allow him the time to survey all that he has accomplished and to give him satisfaction fulfillment for all his labors, as you did on the seventh day, when you rested and saw that all you made was good. Give William Glenn peace and help him in the period of adjustment. Reassure him of your love and open new ways for him to share his gifts for the benefit of others, as he has continually demonstrated all his life. We praise you, O God. Amen.
Thank you, Senior. Guests, please be seated. Side boys, host. One step forward. It is now my pleasure to introduce the presiding officer. For his remarks, Mr. Foy, For some of you probably knew him as biological technician or as an instructor, HM1 Ford.
Biomedical, bro.
We do magic stuff?
He has Chief Ratcliffe's, he was Chief Ratcliffe's leading petty officer at the BMed Schoolhouse in San Antonio, Texas. He was selected to Chief Petty Officer and shortly after was also selected as Chief Warrant Officer in the United States Army. You can read more of his bio in today's program.
It's an honor and a privilege to be here tonight. Grace wanted to be here as well, but as you know, she's expecting and not able to travel. I met Will while serving as BMAT instructor in San Antonio from 2012 to 2016. I learned a few important lessons from Will in the time that I knew him. Will is a master at getting people to do things that they wouldn't normally do. I remember a time that he had 10 people at his house rolling lumpia at 10 o'clock at night. He got my introverted self to actually get on a raft at Cannon Lake, trailing his jet skis at a rapid pace, and getting an Army officer to agree to preside over a Navy Chief Petty Officer's retirement ceremony. Will is a fine example of servant leadership. He's rarely in the limelight. His focus is always on other people. When Will would invite all of the staff over to his house, sometimes we would play Loteria. I would wonder why we could never get him to play. But I see that it was his true calling, serving cups of coffee late at night, preparing humongous batches of pasta. We're getting up at the crack of dawn at Canyon Lake to make breakfast burritos for everyone. He always made sure that everyone was taken care of. I think of Will as a wagon wheel. The spokes represent how everyone around him is connected. The hub represents how he brings everyone together. I really believe he loves fellowship with his friends and gets joy from having everyone together. Will represents the entire wheel. He always keeps things rolling and moving. When it comes to work, Will gets the job done. He makes leadership seem effortless. And that's the way it should be. He challenges you and pushes you outside your limits. You'll never see him complain. He just does what needs to be done. Will's leadership is evident by all of you here today. I have no doubt that he's made an impact on each and every one of your lives. Although the Navy will be losing an excellent Chief Petty Officer, his legacy will live through those he's known. I appreciate the mentorship you've provided throughout the years. I believe you are one of the key persons that contributed to my selection to Chief Petty Officer and my eventual transition to the Army as a warrant officer. Thank you for your 23 years of service. Thank you to your family for providing support that allowed you to be here today. I wish you the best in your future endeavors. Godspeed, fair winds and following seas.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. I would like to introduce tonight's guest speaker, HMC Christopher Newcomer.
Okay, so I'm going to ask everyone, bear with me, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. Make sure that you have some refreshments. I think the bar is still open. Here it goes. Thank you, Kuya Mary. Magandang gabi at Malayanga. Pagdating. Ako po si Apang Chris Pagang Dating at Assam
Keep going. Stay slow.
Karang Alam. I had trouble with that one. Tumayo. Tumayo. Tito Bilang, guest speaker. Ni Kuya Glenn, Will Ratcliffe. Samanga Kapatid at Manga Kababayan. At sa aking pamilya, Ria, Chloe, at Capri. Sa lahat ng mga kuya, ate, mga epe, at iba pang mga bisita. This is all for you, man.
Now there's other people that don't speak Filipino that say.
I'm prepared.
Okay.
Sa minamahal niyang magulang, Papa Tommy, and Mama Nikki, na nakatigan sa langit ngayon. Now, for those of you who are not experts, Sam, right, in Tagalog, like me, this is what I was trying to say. Good evening and welcome. My name is Chief Chris Newcomer, and it is an honor to stand here before you as Uncle Will Ratcliffe's guest speaker. My Filipino brothers and sisters, and my family, Ria, Chloe, and Capri, to all my brothers and sister chiefs, and other honored guests, and most importantly, to his beloved parents, his Papa Tommy, and his Mama Nikki, who is watching over us from her place in heaven. Before I begin my lengthy remarks, I need to convey the thoughts of one of Will's respected and trusted mentors. Their comments read as follows. Chief, I am sorry I couldn't make it, but know that serving with you on all occasions was an honor. When I think of what I was taught about Navy chiefs and what they should ideally bring to the table, I think of you, shipmate. As you move on to the next chapter of your life, know you will be missed, revered, and most of all, never forgotten, as you have left a legacy of well-trained and prepared sailors and officers in your wake. Just what we would expect from an exceptional Chief Petty Officer. Have fun, look forward, never back. And God bless you and your family. Thanks for the memories, shipmate. Fair winds and following seas. Your brother, Rich Haggerty. Okay, now the fun part. Will, I got you, bro. We have made it through some crazy times, you and I. Some good, and some just completely messed up. No details, but here are the highlights. Chipping the tile in your family room. The dark days at NMTSC. HM3 Smith.
She still apologizes.
There's good ones too. HM2 Walker. HM3 Braddock. I still don't believe you are right.
He graduated.
The lieutenant in her assigned parking spot. Planning and executing the best khaki ball ever. Witnessing Ozzy, who can't be with us tonight, I wanted this for him. Witnessing Ozzy negotiate with a squirrel. Totally and utterly baseless EO complaints. Lots of basketball. Lunchtime PT. You can tell I fell off the wagon. With our students who are standing there in the back. They actually graduated. Congratulations, guys. HM3 Trios. And finally, Ozzy's going away bash. And Rhea, being the best Navy Chief's wife on the face of the planet, not letting us get a hold of you when you passed out. Because you would have been done. Rhea? Chloe? Where's Chloe at? Chloe. Hi, Chloe. Capri. You are your dad's princesses, you know that, right? But you're the queen. We all love you. And I know Will loves you. Okay, here we go. This is where you cry. I know what you all are thinking. I ask myself the same thing. Why would the white guy be the guest speaker? It wasn't that I would be early or even on time getting him my bio and my picture for the program, which I wasn't. Or that I was the most eloquent of speakers, because I am not. And then I realized why. As I am sitting here writing this speech the day before this evening's event, I am sitting on a chair on Kuya Larry's parents' back porch, writing this and watching Larry's dad chop oxtails for dinner. And we have not even been formally introduced, because Larry is taking a nap after the 17-hour drive to get here. I am also having a conversation with his sister's husband's sister's son about school starting next week. And nobody finds it strange for me to be here. We have just heard about Rhea's mom and feel helpless to help with their worry for her and the family. And even amongst all of this, Will texts to ask me, where am I staying tonight? And if I am good to go. I like to tell my students a story, especially our fill-in ones. I often will ask them, be nice. I often ask them if they are coconut. To which most reply with much seriousness, hell no. Sorry, Arlo. I then tell them that I am a showpal. To which they give me the chief has lost it look. And I then tell them, I am white on the outside, but I'm brown on the inside. You see, I believe Will asked this bald, slightly round white guy to speak because he considers me and my familia to be his familia. There is no greater compliment than to be accepted as family. It is Will's dedication to his Navy family that made him one of, if not the best chief I have ever had the privilege to serve with. If I was asked to describe Will Ratcliffe, a husband, father, friend, and chief, I would say, family before self, always. Well, we talk a lot of smack about you being the senior chief in our career field. To be honest, brother, you have been a senior chief for some time. And if I may be so bold, pretty damn fine master chief.
What are you
Down here, bro. Right here. Right there.
tired?
I got you.
Good.
Brother, on behalf of the North County Chiefs Mess and all chiefs with whom you have served, I am most humbly honored to present you with this senior chief anchor. As a symbol of what you already are to all of us, the senior chief. Go sit down. Will, I need you to do me a favor. I didn't tell you to get up. Do me a favor and look out across this room, brother. And see the faces and the fruits of your labor. Go easy into retirement with fair winds and following seas. Without ever intending to, you have left your mark on us all. I love you, bro. Thank you for the honor of being your guest speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Newcomer. The tradition of presenting a shadow box was born in early British naval custom. In days of sail, wooden ships, and iron men, it was considered bad luck for a man upon his departure from his ship to allow his shadow to hit the pier before himself departed the ship. In order to ensure no such misfortune would befall their revered shipmate, the crew would construct a box of the finest timber and place within it all the things that reflected his accomplishments throughout his life at sea. Only then could a man, with the shadow of himself secure safely in the box, can go ashore once and for all. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Case and Chief Valdez will now present Chief Ratcliffe with his shadow box.
Jason, we got you. Man, that was awesome.
The ensign encased in the shadow box was flown at Camp TQ, Iraq, during his deployment. On behalf of the Chief Petty Officers Association, and officers of the USNS Mercy, both of whom contributed to this project, we present you with your shadow chest. Thank you for your service, shipmate.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Case and Valdez. The shadow box will be on display. Mr. Ford, would you please join Chief Ratcliffe at center stage to recognize some very special family members? Agent 1 La Roya, will you please escort Miss Chloe and Miss Capri to the center stage? The Military Child Medal, Chloe Joyce Ratcliffe and Capri Cara Ratcliffe. Throughout the years of your life, you have made sacrifices and you served your country as much as you have done. In your loving way, you quietly shouldered the heavy burden that you were asked to carry. Most of the time, you could not understand why I was not there, but you quietly hid the tears, courageously put a smile, and defiantly promised that you would support me. You were then, as now, one of the most important parts of my life, and it was your love that enabled you to assure me that what I was doing was important. I missed so many holidays and countless special occasions, while you were left at home to worry while I was on a difficult mission. You had to say goodbye to friends while we moved throughout the years, and you had to change schools. Your resilience and self-confidence throughout those frequent moves gave me strength. I am proud of you, for it is your love and support that sustained me in those difficult times. There's no way, in my way, that I could have been a success in the military without having your support, your understanding, and most important, your unquestionable love. Thank you for being there for me. Always remember, never forgotten. Love, Dad. Thank you, Chloe and Capri. In the spirit of military spouses everywhere who stand the watch while their spouses are deployed or away from home, Will's wife, Ray, will escort herself to the center stage. Chief Brandy Whittington, please approach the podium and read Creating My Navy Wife.
Chief Whittington, as an angel, and DJ, as God, which is me, will narrate the scene creating my wife. When the good Lord was creating Navy wives, he was into the 6th day of overtime. An angel appeared and said,
"Are you having trouble with this one? What's wrong with the standard model?"
Have you seen the specifications on this one? She has to be completely independent, have the quality of both mother and father during deployments, be a perfect host to 400 or 100 people, run all day on nothing but coffee and Bloody Marys, be able to handle the flu and birthdays on her own, move around the world at a moment's notice, have a kiss that can heal anything from a child's scraped knee, have the patience of a saint when waiting for the ship to come in, have 6 pairs of hands, and be able to understand the humor of a Filipino from Lapu-Lapu City, Philippines, who decided to join the Navy and still love him.
The angel shook her head slowly and said,
Do you mean the sense of humor from that guy Will, also known as Glenn, Cabo, plays like Kobe, and the best B-Met chief ever produced? Whoa. Sorry, brothers. Is that possible?
Don't worry. We will create other Navy wives to help. Besides, it's not his crazy, humorous antics and sarcasm that are the problem. It's her heart. Her heart must swell with pride in her husband, sustain the ache of separations, beat soundly and strongly when too tired to do so, and be large enough to say, I understand, when she really doesn't, and say, I love you, regardless.
Lord, go to bed. You can finish this tomorrow. It's just too much.
I can't. I'm so close to making something unique. She is already able to heal herself when she is sick, can feed 20 unexpected guests, and can wave goodbye to her husband from a pier or runway and fully understand that it's important to our country that he deploys.
the angel circled the model of the newest Navy wife, Ray.
She's too soft.
What's up? You can't even imagine what this woman can do or endure.
Can she think?
Can she think? Why, she can convert ridiculous Navy and Marine Corps acronyms into understandable English.
Finally, the angel bent over and gently ran her fingers across her cheek. But she decides no.
There's a leak. I told you that you're trying to put too much into this one.
That's not a leak. It's a tear.
What for?
It's for joy, sadness, pain, disappointment, loneliness, and pride.
Wow, you're a genius.
The Lord looked at the angel and admitted and replied,
Shipmate, I didn't put that.
Certificate of Commendation, presented to Andrea Santorina Randall. In recognition of your personal sacrifices in support of your husband, Chief Petty Officer William Glenn Ratcliffe, military career, setting aside your personal and professional aspirations in service to the country. The City of Carson acknowledges your dedication and countless contribution as an American ambassador abroad. Your remarkable support and devotion to our country made a significant impact on all the lives you've encountered. Best wishes on your future endeavors from a proud city and community. Mayor, the city mayor, councilman, of course, your dad was there. So on July 13th, we tried to do it on the 14th on your birthday, but the 13th still worked. All my B-Men shop, went to Carson, we've organized it for a while, and Dad was there, and Mom, and of course the mayor and so forth. We flew the flag, and this is all we're doing. Thank you for it.
Open one, Anthony Shepard. Please escort Ms. Ratcliffe to her seat.
Now it's someone can let's get you back.
Appreciation Morning there.
Hey, march on, march. Detail, forward. Left to right, face. Detail, freeze it, colors. Ready, 2. 1 step forward, march. Ready, 2. Left to right, face. Forward, march. Detail, halt. Left to right, face.
The first fold of the flag is a symbol of life. The second fold represents a symbol of our belief in eternal life. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the veterans who have departed our ranks, those who have given a portion of their lives for the defense of our country, so that we may attain peace throughout the world. The fourth fold represents our weaker nature. As American citizens trusting in God, it is to Him that we turn in times of peace and war for His divine guidance. The fifth fold is in tribute to our country. For in the words of Stephen Decatur, our country, when dealing with other countries, may she always be right. It is still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold is for where our heart lies. For it is with our heart that we pledge our allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is a tribute to our armed forces. For it is through our armed forces that we protect our country and our flag from all her enemies, foreign or domestic. The eighth fold is for the one who has gone through the valley of the shadow of death, so that we may see the light one day. The ninth fold is in tribute to women and motherhood, for it is through their love, their devotion, their loyalty that the character of the men and women of this great nation has been molded. The 10th fold is in tribute to fathers, for he too has given his sons and daughters for the defense of this country since the time they were born. The 11th fold represents the seal, the lower portion of the seal of King David and King Solomon, and glorifies in the eyes of the Hebrews the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. The 12th fold represents an emblem of eternity and glorifies in the eyes of the Christians God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The 13th fold, when the flag is completely folded, the stars are uppermost, reminding us of our nation's motto, "In God we trust." And when the flag is completely folded and all sides are tucked in, it takes on the appearance of a cocked hat, ever reminding us of the sailors and Marines who served under Captain John Paul Jones and those who followed, our comrades, our shipmates in the armed forces of the United States, preserving the rights, the liberties, and the freedom we enjoy today. I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over great institutions of learning. I stand guard with the greatest naval force in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for truth, honor, peace, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident, I am arrogant, I am proud. When I'm flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little higher, my colors a little truer. I bow to no one. I am worshipped. I am known the world over. I am respected. I am revered. I am loved, and I am feared. I have fought in every battle of every war for more than 200 years. Gettysburg, Shiloh, Appomattox, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, the beaches of Normandy, the deserts of Africa, the cane fields of the Philippines, the jungles and rice paddies of Guam, Okinawa, Japan, Korea, and Vietnam, the Persian Gulf, and scores of other lands long forgotten by all but those that were with me. I was there. I led my sailors and Marines. I followed them. I watched over them, and they loved me. I was on a small hill in Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle-worn, and weary, but my sailors and Marines cheered me, and I was proud. I was at Ground Zero in New York City on September 11th, when cowardly fanatics attacked America. I was raised from the ashes of once proud buildings by brave firefighters, heroes who risked their lives to save others, showing once again that America, although bloody, will never be beaten. I have been soiled, torn, trampled on the streets of countries that I have helped set free. It does not hurt, for I am invincible. I have been burned, soiled, torn, and trampled on the streets of my own country. And when it is done by those with whom I have served in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the bonds of earth, and from my vantage point on the moon, I stand watch over the new frontiers of space. I have been a silent witness to all of America's finest hours. But my finest hour comes when I'm torn into strips to be used as bandage for my wounded comrades on the field of battle. Or when I'm flown half-mast to honor my sailors and Marines. Or when I'm laid in the arms of a grieving mother at the graveside of her fallen son or daughter. I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wait, dear God. Long may I wait.
Detail about face. One step forward, marked.
Flag passing detail. Post.
Detail, left face. Forward, marked.
All Chief Petty Officers active duty and retired. Attention to the creed.
The Chief Petty Officer community takes pleasure in presenting to Chief William Ratcliffe, United States Navy, the following retirement creed. You have this day experienced that which comes to all of us who serve on active duty in our Navy. I say our Navy because your departure from active duty in no way terminated your relationship, regard, or obligation to the United States Navy and your fellow Chief Petty Officers. By law and tradition, U.S. Navy retirees are always on the rolls, ever ready to lend their service when the need arises. The respect that you earned as the chief was based on the same attributes that you will now carry into retirement. You should have no regrets and should not view your retirement as an end of an era, but rather as orders to a new and challenging assignment, to a form of independent duty. Remember well that you have been and will always be an accepted member of the most exclusive of all maritime fraternities, that of the U.S. Navy Chief Petty Officers. The active duty chiefs salute you. Chief Petty Officers, hand salute. Ready, two. Retired chiefs welcome you. And we wish you the traditional fair winds and following seas. Best regards, Chief Petty Officers.
Thank you, Chief Petty Officers. Please be seated. Tonight, our Navy has given most of the pomp and circumstance, the honors, traditions, and ceremonies back to history. Time does not give us the freedom to do these things from the past. But we still have to stop all engines, lay about smartly, and drop anchor to pay homage to one of our shipmates going ashore. To honor the years served, the guidance, the leadership, the friendship, and expertise that Chief Ratcliffe has freely given these 23 years.
For 23 years, this sailor, he stood the watch. While some of us were lying in our bunks at night, this shipmate, he stood the watch. While some of us were in school, learning our trades, this B-man, he stood the watch. And yes, even before some of us were born into this world, this hospital corner, he stood the watch. In those years, when the storm clouds of war were seen brewing on the horizon, this petty officer, he stood the watch. And oftentimes, he would cast an eye ashore and see Anteria, floating into the creek, standing there, needing his guidance and his help. But this Navy chief, he still stood the watch. He stood the watch for 23 years. For 23 years, he stood the watch so that we, our families, and our friends can sleep soundly in safety each and every night, knowing that this United States Navy sailor, that this genuine chief, he stood the watch. He stood the watch to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and to obey the orders of those appointed over him. He stood the watch representing the fighting spirit of the Navy and those who have gone before me to defend freedom and democracy around the world. He stood the watch proudly serving my country's Navy combat team with honor, courage, and commitment. He stood the watch committed to excellence and the fair treatment of all. So today we say that chief, shipmate, friend, and my uncle, the watch now stands relieved. Relieved by those you have trained, guided, and led. United States Navy, Hospital Corpsman, Chief Petty Officer, Fleet Marine Force, William Ratcliffe, you stand relieved. We have the watch.
DJ Larry. Play that intro. Ladies and gentlemen, the time that we have been waiting therefore is that it is my honor and privilege to introduce the man of the hour. Starting for the Los Angeles Lakers, Chief Hospital Corpsman, William Ratcliffe.
Neil, that was awesome. Both nails. Man, that was awesome. Alright, well, I love to really say ad-lib stuff, but I can't, or else I won't get my point across. Good evening, guests of honor, family, friends, and shipmates. I want to first thank God for allowing to have this event, for my guests to travel safely from all across the country. Kevin, all the way from everywhere. Almost 3 years ago, my mama passed away. She was my biggest fan. I wish she was here tonight. On Tuesday, my mother-in-law, I wish she was here. She suffered an ailment and she's concerned right now in ICU. And I'm asking you, give a little second, a little time right now, pause. Send a little prayer of healing. Thank you. Eric, Ed, payback? Payback? What? Payback. Woo. You know what? Forget it. I can't read it. I can't. Master Chief Frank Dominguez, thank you. It's an honor for you to be here. Teresa, thank you for being here. Thank you again. My fellow chiefs, you're awesome. You always come through with everything else. My BMED family, I know I'm strict, but hopefully it's for a reason. Right? And one day I hope you're wearing this same anchor and even more. You know, 2 stars, they're like a Master Chief over there, Master Chief right there, right behind you. Right? So, keep looking up. Don't get complacent. You know, that's the word I hate. It's being complacent. Always look forward, keep studying, get all the training you can. Now my little script about the Navy. I love the Navy. Because of the Navy, I was able to travel. Because of the Navy, I met my beautiful wife. Because of the Navy, they paid for the birth of my kids. The Navy gave me a paycheck first and 15th, and gave me bonus on my being BMed and training. I can't say enough about the U.S. Navy. We all know it's the strongest fighting Navy out there, and because of the Navy, I am where I am now. It taught me a lot of stuff, and it prepared me for what I need to do the next chapter of my life. I thank all the prior chiefs that has guided us to where we are now, and I hope that we make you proud. That's it. Finish short. All right, enough with the Navy. I just want to say I love you, Lady Navy. Thank you again. My two daughters, Chloe and Capri. You are my motivation, and I will be strict, and I'll be mean, but understand that I love you. Okay? And I always said nothing is ever easy, but because of our love and our family, we'll get through it. Okay? To my brother, Kuya, thank you for always being here for me. And last but not least, my beautiful wife. I thank you so much for everything. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. We'll tackle the next chapter together, and we'll be all right. Look around you. This is the friends that we have met, and this is the friends who will continue to be with us. And I am so proud, and I'm so lucky to have you as my wife. And of course, everyone that participated in this thing. Oh man. Neil, I mean, good stuff. Little Neil, you see all this history right in front of you. This is what the Navy's all about, big family. I hope you would take it and go strong with it. B-Meds, you know you guys are my rock. You guys are awesome. And you'll continue to be the best B-Med there is, and I know it. You're the unsung hero, and the hospital knows it. Maybe some people don't know it, but they know. No equipment, no patient will be where they're at if it wasn't for you. Right? All those x-ray techs, yes. You can't do anything without them. So, all right, wait, there's a pharmacy tech. Yeah, there is a pharmacy tech. Just saying. So thank you again. I hope you enjoyed the night. From the bottom of my heart, I love you all, and I hope to continue to see and communicate with you. And again, thank you so much from the bottom of my family and everybody else. Good night. Enjoy the evening. It's all for you. Not for me. It's all for you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as Senior Chief Brooks delivers the benediction.
Great ceremony. Glad to say myself. Great ceremony. A lot of love in the room. Love you, brother.
Love you. She, by the way, she's the one that got made me to come to. For me.
And that was also my start that you just got from North County. You deserved it a long time ago. And we all know it. Please bow your heads. Lord, the greatest satisfaction we can have at the conclusion of our career in uniform is to know that we've made a difference. It comes by applying our specialized skills consistently over several tours. But it also comes when we step aside our rate to excel in a role in which we've had no previous experience. On both accounts, William Glenn has made a difference, both to sailors and Marines of the United States Naval Service. We thank you for the dedication you instilled in him to serve. We also thank you for many great sacrifices of his family in allowing him to serve faithfully for so long. As William Glenn and his family go forth through their next journey, we ask that you guide and encourage them in their endeavors. Help us to see the impact and maintain the honor William Glenn has bestowed upon our lives. So today, as this retiree trades in his naval warfare uniform for flip-flops, t-shirts, and more tequila, we ask that you will continue to help him flourish as a husband, father, son, brother, and friend. And the Lord said, when his time in service was completed, he returned home. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you, but plans to give you hope and future. Navy Chief! Navy Pride! Navy Chief! Navy Pride! Navy Chief! Navy Pride! Amen.
Senior Chief Brooks. Will all Chief Petty Officers, past and present, man the rails?
Ask for couple actually favors from you. Okay. Retired Chief Mulwani. Retired. Let's go. Come on. Come out here. Chief Mulwani. Come here. Of course, Agent 1 retired Maxie. Come on, Sam. Where you want me at? So, where you want me at? This fellow friend of mine, they didn't have the proper retirement, and I wish I was there to provide that for you. But I hope that this is significant for you guys, as you guys were significant to me.
Sound. 2 bells. Chief Petty Officer retired and family departing. Sound. 2 bells. Chief Petty Officer retired, departing. Sound. 2 bells. First Class Petty Officer retired, departing. Chief Petty Officer Ratcliffe will now report to Chief Warrant Officer Foy and request permission to go ashore for the last time. Sound. 2 bells. Chief Petty Officer, United States Navy, retired, departing.
Old man here, you know. Love it, freak me.
Sound. 2 bells. Chief Petty Officer, retired, and family, departing. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Chief Ratcliffe and his family, thank you very much for attending tonight's ceremony. Hope you have enjoyed our Navy tradition, enjoy your dinner and entertainment from the DJ, Larry, and our live band. Thank you.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs in still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.